Hey, how you doing? This is Dave Wazinski here, ready to sling some great tasting, less filling Miller Lights, and I'm with my good uncle, Tony Wazinski. Tony, how you doing today?
I'm Frank Bergasetti, man. I don't know what to say.
I get you too confused. You guys are good-looking guys. You look a lot alike, but the point of the story is this. You came over this afternoon. You brought a case of great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. You didn't have to do that.
I did, Dave. It is, Dave Wazinski?
Davey
Wazinski. Excuse me, Davey. Yes, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's a big weekend. This is, it's where it all starts.
This is the official kickoff.
This is where it all starts. And, it starts with this weekend. It starts with Miller Lite.
It does.
It really does.
Now, how are you going to drink them this weekend? You're going to drink them out of the bottles, out of the cans. You got that nice little tapper down in the basement and in the garage.
So he's got the cooler packed.
I'm going to Wisconsin, okay, and the home of Miller Lite. So I'm going there, and what's nice about there, I feel like they're big tall boy country.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to get some of those going, and I'm excited for it. It's going to be a nice, fun weekend. And it's going to be like heavily brought to you by Miller Lite. Like, I promise you that.
Yeah, I'm going to Put-in Bay. You heard about that place, right?
I have, Dave. I'm going there next weekend, actually.
There you go. I love that. I'm surprised we didn't have any overlap there, but we'll go there next time. But I'm going to be drinking lots of Miller Lite responsibly, of course. And the best part about it is I'm not going to get filled up.
Yeah, you can't.
96 calories per 12 ounces. It's great taste. It's less filling. And it's the beer of Chicago.
Yep. So for people who want to taste their beer, to get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/redline, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Chicago sports fans. This is White Sox
Chief.
Dave.
This is Eddie.
And this is an all gas, no breaks Chicago sports podcast brought to you by Miller Lite and Barstool Chicago. Carl is not here today. I don't know where he is.
He will be here, though.
He will be here at some point.
He might be here.
I think he'll be here. He's recording starting 9.
He's recording starting 9.
So he'll be here. He'll be here at some point. And it's a shame he's not here, though.
Why is that?
Because I know what we're going to start with. I know we got 2 slandering assholes.
That's not tape don't lie. Tape don't lie.
And I just know this is where we're going to start. So
you want to? It's Doggate.
Yeah, it's Doggate.
So the floor is yours if you want to give an opening statement.
So if you're following along on social media, you've seen that we have a new billboard on North and Wells, which is very cool. Shout out to Muggsy Jeans. They threw us on a billboard. We did.
I'm wearing the joggers right now.
Beautiful.
They're awesome.
I'm wearing the shorts right now.
Are those the joggers or the
These
chinos?
These are joggers.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
They got a bunch of they got about awesome
they got everything.
Shit. They got shorts. They got 7-inch.
Dave, you want to feel my legs?
I don't.
The material is like velvet almost.
I believe it. I felt them yesterday.
Okay.
So we went to go see our billboard. It's a big thing. We did a 6-hour photo shoot a couple months ago.
Forever.
It was a full day.
Yeah, it was whatever. It was fine. It was fun. Like, I actually had fun with it. Surprisingly, it was like the most cohesive this group has ever been.
It really was.
In years. Maybe in years.
It's the first time we've ever had direction.
That's true too. That is true too.
Someone to answer to.
Oh, that's a very good point. First time we've had cohesion in years, and it was great. It was nice, and they told us, they're like, hey, this is going on a billboard. It will be somewhere in Chicago. We'll let you know. We're going to do a grand reveal. So we're like, okay, let's go do it. We stop at the Muggsy store. I forget the woman who helped us. She was lovely. She was great. Kylia. She was awesome. She was very helpful.
Yep.
And
it's right over on Armitage, right across from Kincaid's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you're in like the Paul area, pop in there. It's a great spot.
It's also just kind of worth the trip. They got great stuff.
Yeah, and what I like? I mean, this has turned into an ad, but
I know.
But it's honestly unintentional. I like that you just try one thing on, and everything fits the same.
Yeah.
So that's nice about Muggsy.
So I had a couple of items that I brought back with me from the photo shoot, and then they let us have like 3 items yesterday. Girlfriend was like, you now like have like a decent wardrobe for the first time in years.
There you go.
So
there you go.
It's approved.
So whatever. So we go to Muggsy, and then we go to the billboard, and the whole time we're getting badgered by our production crew, social crew, Danny, who's, he pops in now and then Tom, who talks Rangers with us all the time. And they're frustrated because White Sox Dave has a rock in his head, like you guys know, and Chief is out to lunch. And
how am I out to lunch?
Well, because there's this billboard, and they want a genuine reaction. So it's literally one take. You can't do anything. It's like, it's legitimately, it's if this was fucking Chernobyl, and you gotta detonate that shit. Like, what am I gonna do? Stop for the dog? Like, there was nothing I could do. I was literally.
This is such
it was
bullshit.
It was a one standard motion. I turned around. If I wouldn't have done that, then it would have ruined the shot. And they were already frustrated with us. That's the truth. That's why I tweeted at them. If they want to step in, please let me know, because we were just all over the place yesterday. There was parking things. There was other issues. And yes, so I missed the dog. I apologize to the dog, not to you assholes.
You did not. Oh, you're apologizing to the dog now.
I apologized to the dog.
Okay.
You didn't, not to his face. You didn't. He's not going to get this
dog's not on Twitter. This
I
dog
was in the
listen
middle
to
of a shot. I was in the middle. If it was a 3-2 count in the World Series and a dog came up to your knee, what would you do?
A little bit of a different situation. First of all,
that's a false.
A job is a job.
That's a false
equivalency. A job is a job.
That's a false
job is a
equivalency.
job.
False equivalency. It wouldn't happen. We are on a sidewalk.
A job is a job.
First of all, can you just say you don't like dogs?
He likes
that's not true.
An appropriate amount.
That's not true.
An appropriate amount would have been, look at this little guy, little golden retriever puppy. That would have been the appropriate response.
No, this is where you don't listen and you have a rock in your head. This, like, I literally just said it was a one fluid motion. You had one chance to do that. And Chief's deflecting. Chief started this controversy. He's deflecting.
I didn't take the video.
He saw the billboard already, so he didn't give a fuck, and that's why he went to the dog.
I did give a fuck.
What do you mean it's not true?
I did give a fuck.
Well, you didn't care about the reveal.
Of course,
because you had already seen it.
Of course, I cared about the reveal.
No, that's not true. See, this is.
But you're acting like, oh my, like, what did you expect? We already knew the picture they were using. There was a vote on social media. I knew what I was going to look at.
But you still, listen. You gotta.
The genuine reaction that Chief and I had would have been the exact same reaction, dog there or not.
Yeah.
100%.
And if you ask Tom, he was like, yeah, you did give a good reaction. Like, I made a little quip into the camera.
No, that's not true, because afterwards you made a good remark, but in the moment he's like, dude, like, why are we petting? I'm pretty sure he said something about you petting the dog.
He got frustrated.
Yes, that you pet the dog.
So Tom's not a dog guy either.
But I also said to Tom, like, you're saying, like, oh, they were so frustrated. That wasn't communicated to me that we were doing some, like, I knew we were going there to see it. I didn't know it was going to be some fucking director's cut where it's like we all have put a blindfold on me then. Like, put a blindfold, walk me in the spot, and take the blindfold.
And how are you going to put words in his mouth and say he didn't see it beforehand?
He did. So my car's fucked up. It doesn't start and stop all the time. So I got to the car after Muggsy, and
I fucked up. You putting diesel in your engine?
No, the car didn't turn off. So I got to the car and it was just running.
So it just burning through gas.
So I had 8 miles left in the tank, so I had to go immediately to the gas station, which I planned on doing after the photo shoot or after the reveal or whatever.
So we went down LaSalle, and then there's only one way to really get there. We had to go up North Ave, and that's what we did.
That's what we did.
Okay.
But the reaction that you got from me was I'm not gonna be Carl, and I'm not gonna just put on this like fucking, oh my god, can you believe this? Like, I try to be as genuine as possible. Like, the reaction you got would have been the reaction if I saw it.
Listen, a first look, that's a first
look.
It can only be genuine once, though.
It would have been the exact same look for me
personally. But it can only be genuine once.
Yes.
That's just a fact.
It was genuine, no matter what. It was all genuine. Dog there or not. If I would have saw that for the first time yesterday, you would have
also, if Carl wants to it's a paid sponsorship. He could do that.
Of course.
Bugsy wanted us to be there.
Yeah, we were there. I think that they're probably at this point pretty happy that I pet that dog because it got them.
What do you think?
1 million+ impressions.
They're more happy that I just somehow missed the dog in translation.
The dog. He was jumping on you.
I'm sure they want
begging for him to be pet.
I think they want the face of their brand in Chicago to be a dog hater.
And here's where I wish.
Thank God I was there.
Here's where I wish Carl was in here. Here's where I really wish he was in here. You know what all this is? You guys say, "Oh, this guy spin zone." The spin zone here is you guys got your fucking doors blown off in trivia and got knocked out in the first round and got embarrassed. You guys walked around with crowns on your head. You guys had champs in your name.
I didn't.
And you guys sucked.
First of all,
we scored 13 points.
Dave, don't engage with that. Don't engage with that.
I'm not. You're right. He threw speaking of dogs, he was treating me like a dog right there. Like Roan said, he threw the ball down and I just started chasing it. But I had the shot collar on and Chief had the button and he clicked it.
Disgusting performance. Spittin' Chicklets played like 3 times this whole year.
So what?
What does that have to do?
So what?
So
first of all,
they didn't even. We had two guys who weren't even there. They didn't want to come.
Changing the subject.
Dave, don't engage.
You don't like dogs.
I'm telling you, this is the real thing. You guys got your doors blown off in trivia.
How are you going to rectify this situation with your brand as being a dog hater now?
Answer right now.
You're Cruella
Tell
DeVille.
me about wearing a crown for winning the first half. Imagine if the White Sox were first in the Central,
Cruella,
and then they wore crowns at the All-Star break.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm a professional. I'm in the content game. Jeff Delowe sent us crowns to wear, so we wore them because we're in the content game. We're promoting.
But it's not genuine, though. Why
of course it is. We're the number one ranked team. The commissioner sent us crowns to wear.
You're
putting yourself in a corner now.
I'm not.
You just did like a chess move that opened yourself up to checkmate.
But even then, you had a good regular season. You guys choked in the playoffs.
That wasn't the regular season, first of all.
It's not a regular season.
It's like boxing. We were the title holders.
Right.
No,
we're the belt holders, man.
That was the first half of the season.
This is like... no, it's not.
Well, I don't think people.
It's more like,
and the crown is a sham, and people should never celebrate it because all that matters is the tournament.
Wow,
is that fact or fiction?
I think that's very much fiction because people watch that tournament, that show all year round, and
do.
Maybe you guys would have a crown if you took it as seriously as we did throughout the year.
Yeah,
which you don't. Which is why you've never had one because you guys stink.
We made it out of the first round. You guys didn't. That's a tough look.
We should have played better defense.
We scored.
We
had 12 points.
They flew to New York to get knocked out in the first round.
We had 12 points.
We should have played better
defense.
defense.
And you got 3 at the end.
Us.
What do you mean we got 3 at the end?
It was the score was a lot more lopsided at one point.
Well, credit to us for buckling down and coming back.
I also didn't bring something up either.
What's that?
What are you guys 0-3 live now?
Got a little bit of a
not so great.
That's not great.
That's not great. But now you're chasing the ball. He just doesn't like boxing.
No, this is not about me being authentic. But Ed, I'm an Eddie guy. I'm a Team Eddie guy.
Well, yeah, lambasting videos out there. I mean, he's a team guy.
I didn't take the video.
That's bull.
I didn't take the video. But I do want to. I don't want this to stick with you either. So I want to give you an opportunity to, refurbish your brand as far as it comes to dog. People really care about dogs. They don't want to be associated with a dog.
That's part
hater.
of the family.
Oh yeah.
Ace is my brother.
So
my best friend.
Insofar as that we are a family, maybe Dave and I
had to get the shot.
Dave and I should bring, and we had to wear the crowns. And maybe Dave and I should bring Ace and George in here, and then
I've already talked to several shelters.
They will. I don't think you've talked to them.
I will. I will make this right.
Let put a little.
That dog, I don't know how we'll ever find that dog.
I got one for you that's on the northwest side.
Let's put
Chicago Canine Rescue. It's at Elston and right off 290.
I think,
or on 94.
I think a professional content 94. Professional like Ed, if he wants to, reestablish himself and make up for this, he should let Ace and George lick peanut butter off his face for content and to, get your brand right, to prove that you're not a dog hater.
Would be me reacting to that would be.
That was about
I think that I let George look. He gives me kisses on command. I'm like, oh, give me kisses, and he comes over and licks my face.
Nope. Okay.
A beautiful, about a 6 months old golden retriever.
I would say
puppy.
It's about exactly 6 month old. That little puppy.
Just wanted to introduce himself. He wanted to get, his ears rubbed and his belly scratched.
Saying
and
hello.
You just said, fuck off.
Yeah.
I just want to pop on here and because listen, that was for sure a topic, but also I had a topic down too, was just Team Chicago losing in the first round. So that's what I want to talk about too. So.
All right. I'm satisfied at this point with the dog conversation. I do think you need to let George, specifically George, because he's a little slobbery sometimes, lick peanut butter off your face. I'll go get him after
not gonna
this.
Happen.
Of course not, because you hate dogs.
How do you consider that an eye for an eye?
Because it's like you're so far in the red that to get back to neutral, you have to kind of go above and beyond.
Yeah.
So like a simple pet of a dog, which any normal human would do, which you refused of a puppy, we wouldn't be here. So you have to go above and beyond and just let them give you some kisses.
It's like the pH scale. Like you dipped your hand in 14 and now you need to, water won't do the trick. It's still going to burn your finger off.
It's got to be acidic.
It's got to be very, very, I think basic.
Basic. Yeah. The opposite.
So you got to dip it in a 1 pH basic liquid.
I'm going to read some comments too. And I don't want, I got to look for the right one, the one that I was looking for.
I'll read some comments too if you want.
No.
You sure?
Yeah, this was my segment. This was my idea. I would like to read the comments that
I think we need a therapist on Dog Walk. I think there might be some traumatic dog experience in Eddie's past. So dirtbag versus cool, well-liked, best hair around guy. Got it.
Did you get like bit by a dog when you were a kid?
I'm still doing my research. You guys can continue the show while I do my research.
God, I love Eddie, but this shit is getting hard to defend. I heard from reliable sources that Eddie originally tried to name the podcast Catwalk, but changed it last minute not to be confused with a fashion product. Tough look, Eddie. I'll never trust Eddie again. Red Ed dressed appropriately. You were wearing red that day. This is why we're Barada Gang for life.
When a dog jumps on you like that, you're supposed to back off. You don't embrace bad behavior. You certainly don't want dogs jumping on random people like this.
That's not why you did it.
# respect. And I'm not endorsing these retweets, but I'm just saying good journalism is listening to all points of view. Right?
Only a real dog person would know that, which you are on the record as not knowing. There was no intentionality between.
How do you know that?
Because I know that, Ed.
Because I just found that out now.
No, I'm just reading it.
You're not a dog guy. Only dog people would know that. And I did not pet the dog. The dog was on all fours when I was grabbing his head.
Interesting. Just would you agree though, Dave? Good journalism. You get sources. From
I would agree with that for sure. But that's not why you shoot the dog away.
You have to look at it through the proper prism, which is you're not a dog guy, so you didn't know that rule, which is not why you backed away.
I see one guy rewarding a dog's bad behavior and another not encouraging bad dog behavior. I don't endorse this, but
that's not bad behavior. That's puppy behavior.
It is puppy behavior, but you are supposed to not like that guy in that tweet is correct. Ed's intentionality with that was not there.
Exactly.
And
he just didn't want to have anything to do with the dog.
I did not reward the bad behavior. I went down to the dog's level when he was on all fours as a little puppy to give him his proper pets.
Absolutely.
So I rewarded him being on all fours.
All right, regardless, Dave, just tell me about JP Graziano's and stuff.
Oh, what's there to tell at this point? Everybody should know all about JP Graziano. So right now, we got the beef kits. They're in low supply. If you want to make homemade Italian beef, you go to tasterealchicago.com or Barstool Sports Store. They're sold both places. And buy yourself a beef kit. Running low on supply like everything else is in this country, apparently. So go and get a beef kit. JP Graziano's. They're an 83-year-old Italian sub shop in the West Loop. It's at Peoria and Randolph Streets at that intersection.
JP Graziano Way.
Actually, the street's named after him. They're a staple of the neighborhood for almost 100 years now, almost a century. You can get the Giardiniera, you can get the Muffaletta. It's the best Italian deli in all of Chicago. Everybody knows that. It's a family experience too. You walk in and you're greeted. You're not just a customer. You're like you're part of their lives, and they make you feel like that. Jim's the absolute best, as is the rest of his family.
It's Memorial Day this weekend.
Yes.
Father's Day is around the corner. This is prime beef season. It makes a great gift. I've always said that the beef kits. You gotta get it. You gotta get the peppers. You gotta, and like it's another thing. Like if you're from Chicago or you live in Chicago and maybe your parents live somewhere else, fucking send this in the mail. This to me is like the number one. There's always the hot dog, the pizza debates. No, like this is our thing, and nobody does it better than JP Graziano.
Nobody on earth. They take walk up orders right now. You can just go into their shop. They got the night window open. I moved into the neighborhood a few months ago and I've been meaning to try their Italian beef, their actual store, not just like our version. Their late night Italian beef. It's outstanding. It is the best in the area. Anytime I'm looking to consume an Italian beef via the Grazianos, if I don't have time to make it myself, I'll just head right over to their store. They're our good friends. They're not just partners at this point. They're actual friends. So check out JP Graziano's. They're our favorite restaurant in all of Chicago.
You know what else? I was at that Polina Meat Market the other day. It's a spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the beef. I made the beef kit at home maybe last Friday. I also picked up pork, like a pork tenderloin.
Yep.
That's fucking spectacular with the beef kit too. So
I
know it says beef kit on the box, but
you don't have to segregate it.
Let your hair down.
Beef.
Go wild.
We did it with the venison last year.
Yeah, we did that too. Yeah. So it's awesome.
Yeah, you can have fun with it. It's great for Memorial Day, Father's Day, all that good stuff.
It's the best.
So
graduation parties
and that graduation parties, college and high school,
whatever you need. go to jptasterealchicago.com.
Yep.
So we got an interview coming up. I should have said that at the top of the show. Tracy McGrady's coming on. Chief and I went to Chicago Hope Academy on the west side, and we interviewed T-Mac to talk about his Ones basketball league. We also got into a bunch of other cool things.
Yep.
I wasn't able to appropriately put in words how much I love Tracy McGrady, but
to his
he was
face.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's always weird.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're like, dude, man, like, because he was, you know, I was a kid when I loved him, and now it's like you're an adult.
I'm trying to think if we've had a guy like that on the show. Because you were what, probably 12 to 18 when you were like, T-Mac is my guy.
Yes.
He was so fucking sweet.
I don't think I have.
That was my favorite. Well, I mean, I do, but I didn't love the 90s Bulls and all that. I was just too young.
Right.
But like Derrick Rose, Tracy McGrady, like that era of basketball was when I was like, I didn't miss many Bulls games.
Yeah.
And I love Tracy McGrady. He was just so smooth and sweet.
He could fill
fluid.
it up. He could fill it up,
man. He was
man.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That was a very underrated era, I feel like.
It was
very, very underrated.
We came out of the Jordan. Everyone's like, oh, you know, like who's the next Jordan, blah, blah, blah. But you had Garnett, you had Duncan, you had Shaq and Kobe, you had Iverson, you had T-Mac. Like, it was not, I don't know, I hate comparing eras, but I was way more into the NBA back then. It might be part of like a function of my age, where it's just like you don't have time necessarily for like every single sport underneath the sun anymore. But I loved watching T-Mac, and like that whole thing where, you know, I watched that, I brought it up on the interview, but that 13 points in 35 seconds is just like a preposterous moment.
It's a great moment.
Yeah.
It's like impossible.
Yeah.
It just, like you said, I didn't remember Jordan. I remember the last championship.
Yeah.
That's it.
I remember the full like last three.
I remember the last three, yeah.
More so both Jazz series, but I definitely remember all of them.
Yeah, I just remember that celebrating, but I couldn't tell you much about it. So like that next era, and like I hated the Lakers because they kept winning.
Yep.
So I wasn't a Kobe guy. But I loved Tracy McGrady and I loved Allen Iverson.
Well, and because those guys made it fun in that era. Like those guys made it fun when it was like the Pistons and the Nets were like, ugh, like they were good, but you weren't like exactly excited to watch them.
I like that Pistons team too.
Well, they were tough, and I think the Lakers were such a villain that it was something that we needed. So.
There he is.
We got the man Tim Grover walking in right now. So yeah, like I thought T-Mac was great. A guy who knows who he is too. He is like, I was like, damn, like he's a very impressive person. Like, I didn't have any expectations one way or another, but I was like, man, I would love to spend more time with T-Mac.
Yeah, no, he was really cool, and his league actually sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
One-on-ones, we were watching it for a while. We'll talk more about it in the interview, but it was cool.
It inspired me to play our intern Lance one-on-one.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, watch that in Stool Scenes next week.
Covered the spread.
But it was great to sit down with Tracy. I think you guys will like it. Talk some Bulls, talked about him coming here, talked about the draft trade with Scottie, and just a bunch of other things, baggy suits and whatnot. So, yeah, I think we should just kick it over to Tracy. I do want to say, obviously, it wasn't jest. I don't hate dogs. I want to get that out there. I'm getting killed. I feel bad.
Kyle Long's coming for you.
I wish I could see that dog and make it up to him. I truly do. But regardless, that's it for me on today's show. Thanks again to Tracy McGrady. Let's just kick it over to him. Whoosh. All right, Redline Radio is now joined by Tracy McGrady, Hall of Famer, Ones Basketball League, creator, founder. What do you like to go by there? Creator sounds.
Whatever, man.
Founder, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Which one has more panache? I feel like founder is like, whew, he's a founder.
Yeah.
They like build a statue, you put your name on the wall someday.
Founder sounds like I could just put my foot on a rock and just flex.
Yeah.
Founder.
Yeah.
So you're in Chicago. This is a Chicago sports podcast. Obviously, two great stories, I guess, with Chicago. I know you've told now, 97, the Pippen trade, and the 2000 recruiting trip, I guess we should say. Which was a crazier moment for you? When you heard that you were going to be traded for Scottie Pippen, or when that time when you landed in Chicago and you had Oprah talking to you and a bunch of crazy stuff?
By far, the Scottie Pippen trade.
Yeah.
That one, to me, it just didn't make sense. You're talking about an 18-year-old kid that's unfamiliar with the NBA game. You're winning championships at the moment still with the Bulls. and you're thinking about trading a top 50 guy for a rookie. Like, to me, it's like, why would you put that type of pressure on this rookie coming in out of high school? Yeah. Let me go and do these 3 years in Toronto, and then we can talk about it.
Your study abroad.
Yeah.
Stash me in Canada.
Yeah. So, but I want to know about that 2000. Like, how was Krause, and how close were you to coming? Because I read an article this morning, like an old Chicago Tribune archive. All signs point to Trace McGrady coming to Chicago was the headline.
It wasn't close.
Wasn't close.
That kills 10-year-old me.
Yeah. Oprah has no pull. Benny the Bull, no pull.
Well, here's the deal, right? So I grew up in Central Florida.
Yeah.
Magic came in 88, 89, something like that. Right. I'm middle school kid. We got an NBA team. I love the NBA, and I became attached to the Magic. As I get to high school, I played AU basketball in the summer, and I used to drive by the arena all the time. And I used to tell my mom, one day I was going to be playing there. Fast forward about 3-4 years, I get my opportunity. But I'm playing for Toronto, playing in that arena. 3 more years later, I get to put on a Magic uniform. I'm going home.
Yeah. And that's, you can't hate
I'm going home.
No. I mean,
was there Bulls allure at all at that time though, or was like Magic aside? Obviously, that's home.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
But
I'm going home.
Nothing.
That's why. Think about it. I mean, I left a family member in Toronto who was really freaking good.
Yeah.
Vince Carter, right? To go home. You can't compete. You couldn't. No one could have competed with that.
Yeah.
Right. Pat Riley laid it out for me. Ride jet skis over from Alonzo Mourning's house over to Pat Riley's crib. Pulls out the ring. You know what he does. No one could compete with me going home.
Was there a banana boat or no?
I don't do banana boats.
You don't do banana boats? No.
So that,
I'm not that comfortable.
Team.
I'm not that comfortable in the water.
Speaking of Toronto, is that Toronto Raptors with the Velociraptor on it? Is that the best jersey of all time?
The purple one.
Yeah.
With the dinosaur.
Yeah, with the dinosaur.
That and the blue pinstripe Magic jersey.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to ask. Did you ever petition them to bring it back, the penny jerseys?
Yeah. Those two are the greatest jerseys.
Yeah.
Do you ever just rock one anymore? I mean, that's...
No.
No? That's such like a festival jersey, I feel.
Look at his colors
like
on his shirt.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, he's got those Magic colors.
But on that note too, I mean, I might be biased because I loved your shoes. I think your shoes are the second best behind obviously Jordan's.
Really?
I do.
That's high praise.
Really
I salute you.
Yeah. Even though I broke my ankle in the blue metallic ones.
You're not even supposed to say that after you just gave
sorry.
me the greatest compliment of all time. And then you come back and say, I broke my ankle. How does that make me feel? Huh?
I don't know.
How? I went from here to damn, like quick.
I should have brought them. I still had, the blue metallic ones. Yeah. Those are so sweet.
He can't shoot a basketball anymore.
He's had the yips.
He's had the yips for like 25 years.
Don't wear those anymore. Put on another pair where you actually played well and didn't twist your ankle or break it.
I'm so mad I didn't bring them. Next time you guys come to Chicago, I'm going to bring them, put them on, and then we could touch a basketball like Space Jam, and I could get the yips.
Yes. That'd be awesome.
Get the power.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
You're down for that?
I am down for that one.
That's huge.
That's great.
That's really great.
Yeah.
No.
Then
I can't believe you didn't bring him.
Then you
so
can
mad.
grab the mic and talk about your experience.
Okay. All right. We're doing that. So you're going to come back here, right?
We have to. Chicago's we have to.
It's one of the Meccas, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the main spots.
Yeah.
Did you like the white ones or the black ones better, the T-Mac 2s?
It didn't matter to me.
No.
I don't care about color.
No.
I just feel with me.
What kind of... do they allow you to have any kind of creative input on the design of the shoes, or were you just like, I'll sign my name?
I'm a non-creative guy when it comes to shoes.
Oh, really?
I have no creativity. Like none, zero. So I trusted my designer to do some dope stuff.
Okay.
And they just lined it up, and you're like, yeah, those look good.
Yeah.
Did you even send it back? Be honest.
Of course.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I made a couple changes after seeing a sample. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you never twisted your ankle in them? So that's just an Eddie problem, not a shoe problem.
No.
Yeah.
You know what happened? My rookie or second year, I think, I twisted my ankle so bad like it was a high ankle sprain. From that point on, like when I recovered from that, I twisted my ankle. I was fine. It was the craziest thing. It was the craziest thing. Like if I was to twist my ankle, I could walk it off and I'm good to go. It never kept me out for like multiple games.
Just used to it.
Stretch those ligaments permanently.
Probably,
yeah. Probably. So one's basketball. It's a one-on-one league. I think there's something about Kobe guarding you. There's a story out there how he always had a hard time with you. I've seen that before. What do you was that like a? Did you pour it extra on against Kobe?
No. It was just it was a different focus, right? It was just a different focus when I played against Kobe. But I didn't pour any extra on. No, I was just it's a chess match, right? Because two guys that are highly skilled, high basketball IQ, and just trying to figure each other out. Like, and it is, all right, what counter move I'm gonna use next because I know he's probably sitting on something, so I got to go the opposite direction. It was one of those matches.
Who was the guy that gave you the most trouble one-on-one? I'm trying to think of guys like Bruce Bowen, Doug Christie from that time. Is there a guy that you think back like, God, I can't believe I have to face this guy tonight?
Look at his face.
Nobody?
As a defender?
Yeah, like when someone's checking you, like nobody.
There's no one you looked a little less forward to playing.
That's different.
Yeah,
that's different.
Okay.
Like the question you posed.
Yeah, was there like, oh, I know I'm in for a tough 40 minutes tonight?
I mean, not as someone defending me, but playing against Kobe as the guy. Like, damn, let me get my sleep. What time is it? Oh, it's 10 o'clock. All right, let me get some rest. I got to go to bed, get my rest tonight because I know I'm in for a longer. But for someone to actually be checking me and I'm like, man, I got a long night. Hell no.
No, nothing like that.
This is what I do. I'm an offensive player. Like, no, this is what I do.
I think I looked up your career high per game is 32 in an era when nobody was scoring.
You're right.
If you could play now,
oh come on, man.
How much are you getting now? How much are you getting now in today's league?
Let me see. I averaged 32 in an era. Some games like 75, 78, 80 points. I shot average 5, maybe 6 threes then when I averaged 32. So let's double that in today's game.
Yeah.
So now you're at 50 points a game.
So give me about 8 to 10 free throws a game. I would say 36 to 40.
Okay. And then do you wish that you played in an era where you were, I know you kind of went with it with Grant Hill a little bit, but this super team era. So if you were going to surround yourself with guys from today's game, like if you could cherry pick, who would you look at in the NBA today and be like, I would love to play with that guy?
Well, to answer your question in a different way and then answer your question. Okay. We almost created a super team, right?
You almost invented
with
it.
Grant Hill and Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Signed Grant Hill. There's rumors out we didn't sign Tim Duncan because Doc Rivers didn't allow the spouses to travel on road games, and that was a deal breaker for TD. Which once I heard that, I was furious. Like, I hope this is not real because there is no way in hell that you didn't allow spouses to fly on planes, and we could have had Tim Duncan.
Yeah, you make new rules.
Like, you have to make new rules for him.
Yeah,
right.
Did you ever get that confirmed?
No, I haven't had a conversation with Doc. It's out there. But once I need to have that conversation with Doc. But so going back to your question, in today's game, I mean it's quite simple for me. You just give me Steph.
Yeah.
Right. Give me Steph.
Nice stretch 4.
And give me KD.
Yeah.
It's just, you know.
And you're winning 75 games a year.
It's quite simple.
Yeah. Pretty good team.
Yeah.
Pretty good team. Yeah. So who was that guy, though, that you looked a little less forward to playing?
A little less forward to
playing? Yeah. You're like to take Beverly's comments, there was guys you go to bed early for, and then there's guys, you know, you're having wine the night before. Who's a guy that you're like, I need to be on my shit?
That was Kobe.
Yeah.
That was Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, he's just tenacious, just an assassin. You know, I knew for 48 minutes, like, it was hell.
Yeah.
Did he get chirpy with you on the floor?
No, never.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because who is that guy? He played for he went super viral. And just talking about Kobe. He had a big game guarding Kobe. Kobe comes up to the start of the fourth, like pats him on the ass.
Oh, that was Iman Shumpert.
Yeah, Iman Shumpert. So a guy from here. So he nothing like that where he's just too much respect back and forth.
Yeah. It was too much respect. I mean, you talking about two killers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
What was at that time? You were one of the best. That was when it was like 03, right? When you averaged the 30 points a game. Right before that 04 Olympics, that was a disaster. What was like some of the motivation or the reasoning for not opting into that group that went to Athens and lost?
I think I don't recall, but I think it was a lot of travel advisories. That was going on. I know it was something had to do with it wasn't safe in the beginning.
Okay.
Right, and I just opted out. I don't quite remember everything that was going on, but I just opted out because there was a travel advisory and just some other safety protocols that was going on. And then,
you were not the only one.
Right.
A lot of guys opted out. When you watch that or when you think back, do you think, oh man, it would have been cool to have a gold medal if we would have won if I was on it? It's just not don't care.
I never even thought about it.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Clearly don't remember. Yeah.
Never thought about it.
Till now, yeah. It's like I did? I opted out? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, just a few more. We know you got to get on your way. We got to talk about the baseball thing. Playing with Roger Clemens. What was that like?
So, baseball is my first love, guys. I started baseball at the age of 5, and I played all the way up to my junior year in high school. And the only reason I didn't pursue baseball is because when I transferred from my high school in Florida to North Carolina, we didn't have a baseball team. It was just strictly basketball. So from that point on, when I stopped, I always wanted to play baseball, right? Even in my first few years in the league, I was trying to figure out, man, how can I get into a minor league camp or something? But I could never figure it out, never happened. When I retired from the game of basketball, I knew we had a independent league right up the street from my house in Sugar Land. And I know Roger Clemens played for them, I think a game or two or something like that. And I was like, damn, maybe I can go out there and give it a shot. So I went and talked to the team, went and tried out. They gave me a spot on the team, and I played like 75 games up until the All-Star break. Pitched in the All-Star game.
Wow. Oh my
recorded
God.
me a strikeout, and that was it. It was baseball, bro. I don't know how. There's no way I probably could have played 15 years of baseball.
No.
Just grind.
It's a grind, man.
So
every single day. And to have kids, I didn't see my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they do it. Right? Like if you don't take your kids to school, which I didn't, my wife, because I'm a sleeper. So my wife takes the kids to school. By the time my kids get home from school, I'm at the park.
Yeah.
So I don't see them. So I was like, nah, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
So,
Too much?
Yeah, it was too much.
How are you and Vince now?
We're good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We always been good.
Have you?
There's
What do you
no
mean now?
bitterness.
When you do research and everything, there's always there was a strife. He left there. He didn't want to play second fiddle in Toronto.
You know how media can play a part in that. No, man, Vince will always
family
be
reunions
good.
are good?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. So you mentioned your kids. You mentioned that they were kind of the inspiration for this.
Oh, yeah.
They just can't do 3-hour games.
No.
Okay. So have you showed them the 35-second clip? Have they seen
they know
that?
about
Yeah. 13 points in 35 seconds.
Are they impressed?
They are.
Yeah.
They are. They won't tell me that.
Yeah.
Right. But it gives. I think when their friends bring it up, gives them a sense of happiness and that's my dad.
And then tell us a little bit more about the league. Who are the players that are in this league? Where do you find them, source them, all that?
So every city we go to, we have 32 players, and some come through my IG. We vet all the players, and some comes through. There's a lot of pro-am leagues, a lot of underground one-on-one leagues. So we know all these people out here with these leagues. We just get the right guys that we want, and who wants to be on this platform, who's not afraid to play one-on-one basketball. And because you got to be tough to play this, right? You got to be really tough. You don't have a 7-footer behind you to help once somebody gets past you, right?
Yeah.
So there can be some embarrassing moments for you, and it's like, what I do how do I come back from that? If somebody crosses me up and I fall, and that was just point one. And we got 6 more points to go.
Yeah.
So I just felt like there's a lot of untapped talent out here that needs to be on this type of platform. And I think if I create the model for one-on-one basketball to where it's entertaining to watch, because I know I've watched, some guys do one-on-one before on TV or on social media, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
I just didn't like the format. I didn't like how it was structured. But if I create this model to where it's entertaining for even me to watch and then the non-basketball people to watch, then I know I have something. I got my answer the first week in Houston. My wife was entertained. My kids and their friends were entertained. Just the fans that were in attendance loved it. And I was like, okay, all right, it's first week. Maybe y'all just telling me that because y'all don't want to, make me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
We go to Atlanta. I get the same type of buzz. So I was like, okay, now we're on to something, right? So I just think it's a cool concept, man.
Yeah.
Just to really showcase one's individual skill, right? The array of skills. It's hard to do that in a 5-on-5 setting.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it gives guys opportunity to be themselves, right? You don't have a role to play. You are the role, right? You are the guy, right? So it's really on you on how you want to execute and how you want to, portray yourself in this league.
And you can get exposed.
And you can get exposure.
Yeah.
So our Houston winner have already gotten calls from like the TBT to be invited.
Really?
Yeah. So this is the type of opportunity you will get out of this.
Yeah.
Right.
Who was it? Glenn Rice Jr. won the last one?
He won the Atlanta one.
Okay.
This is another guy in Houston. But yeah, it's all about opportunity, man. And where I am today was just really based off of someone giving me an opportunity. I go back to my junior year. Like I told you earlier, I was the best player in my area. But on a national scene, no one knew who the hell I was. A guy that was affiliated with Adidas comes down from Ocala, Florida. I don't know where he saw me play, how he got in contact with me. He came to my school, my high school, and gave me this opportunity to have the invite to Adidas camp. My life changed, right? Someone gave me that opportunity. Why me?
Yeah.
Right? Because it was other guys before me in my neighborhood that was extremely talented, but didn't get that shot, that opportunity, right? And didn't get that showcase. It was me. So I want to give that back to the guys because I know it's a lot of guys out here like that.
Yeah. That's cool, man. And how could social media? I know it's not streaming yet, but what's the?
So oblhoops.com is where you could get all our information on the league. The players. Next city we're going to when we're in Vegas for the championship. Winner's going to win $250,000. So each guy from each. So there's going to be a guy that leaves Chicago. Whoever that number one guy is, he'll win $10,000. That's in each city. The number one guy will win $10,000. The top 3 guys will get the automatic bid to Vegas for the championship. And then once we go through season 1, we'll go back into our data and rank our top 50 guys, and they'll be a part of OBL. And then, we'll stream it on BarstoolSports.com for season 2, and
why not? We're off to the races.
Why not? We'll be back at it doing it again.
I challenged Lance over there to a game today. He's 6'5".
Please, we need all these cameras to
bring him out. Bring him out. You have a hoop out there for us? I think we're gonna make it happen.
That's awesome. Sorry, last two. Should Doc Rivers stay with the Sixers?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
And then forgot my second. Oh, are you tired of the baggy pants pictures being sent to you?
The what?
The baggy pants picture
from the.
Yes, he is. He's tired of that question.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay. It's whatever. It's all right.
Yeah, because the reason being is I was I knew I had to do NBA TV. Right. Over my career, if you guys probably don't know, but there are a lot of tailors out there, people that make suits, want you as a client, so they'll give you a free suit, right?
Yeah.
So it was just one of those times. I just grabbed the suit out of I got thousands of suits. I just grabbed the suit, got on the flight, went to Atlanta. I put on the suit. Like, damn, this is too big.
Like, shoot me from the weight stop only today.
Damn.
I hope I don't. Barry Melrose's suit.
I hope I don't have to stand up in this episode. And lo and behold, they had me standing up, and that.
The rest is history.
But, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Awesome. Well, Tracy, thanks. OBLHoops.com.
Yeah, OBLHoops.com. Go check us out. Follow us. We're coming to a city near you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Yep. Thanks. All right. That was Tracy McGrady. So, a great throwback. I'm really intrigued by this one-on-one league that he's got going. Obviously, you guys heard about it, but basically, I was asking, like, they have connections to like everywhere, all over the country. Did you know that there's like underground one-on-one leagues that exist now that guys just show up? So they're basically going to try to take some of that. And they have some names. I think Glenn Rice Jr. played in it. Like they have some guys, and I think that this is like a very cool idea that I would definitely watch in the summer. Like, so we're seeing a lot of these kind of like hockey's coming out with 3-on-3. Obviously, the big three that exists there now.
Yep.
There's something about, hey, it's you versus me.
It's quicker paced. Yeah, for sure.
And I think that like you just played a 7, so it's like you should have intense. You should have all your energy.
Yeah.
Really cool. And then T-Mac, I said going into it, a guy that knows himself, doesn't seem like he has any regrets about his career. He's a guy.
Why should he? He was
never won a playoff series.
Yeah.
That would be the big knock on him, but he, kind of out of his control. And it was just like people forget, like he is a Hall of Famer, but I feel like he's not a name that's necessarily at the tip of your tongue from that era, but he definitely should be because he was like the first guy to have that microfracture surgery. So if you want to hear more about that and his recovery, and he's going to be on Rebuild Ed with Tim Grover and Ed. We did that interview that day too. I think that's coming out in 2 or 3 weeks. So be on the lookout for that. That's a really cool show. I don't know if people are paying attention to that or not, if there's crossover from our audience, but I've really enjoyed watching it. And T-Mac was great on that. So I love T-Mac, a guy that had maybe wore the best jersey and one of the worst jerseys. Those Rockets jerseys with Yao were atrocious. And but yeah, he was great. Do you know he was like a huge baseball guy?
Oh yeah, he was drafted, right?
I don't know if he was drafted, but he played. He tried to play like some minor league baseball, and you'll like this, Dave. His comment on it, if you haven't heard the interview yet, he goes, "I don't know if I could do it. It's just such a grind."
It is a grind.
So playing every day, but he said that was his first favorite sport. He picked up basketball like later.
Yeah, so he played indie ball, and I'm sure this was like how the Chicago Dogs signed Carlos Zambrano a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. I'm sure this was similar to that. He played indie ball for the Sugarland. I think they're the Skeeters, I want to say.
Yeah, I think like the owner of one of the teams he was playing for had a connection there. But it's a grind, man.
6.2 innings pitched.
Yeah, he could throw gas. 6'8".
No strikeouts.
Well, he's
he hadn't played forever.
Yeah. And but imagine just like it's like Randy Johnson. 6'8" guy just being like, "Oh, here it comes." But we are in the middle of I feel like now, like we talked about, at the top of the show, like we're entering summer. I feel like now is like when the grind really starts for baseball.
It does.
So 21-21, right?
21-21.
How you feeling? White Sox.
I mean,
5.5 games back now. Because now it starts getting real.
No, it is.
Like
it's
that 5.5,
real. It's getting
it
real.
means something.
Definitely. The White Sox have had, and there's a few, what's the word I'm looking for? Not conglomerates, but
definitely not conglomerates.
There's a few websites out there that are aggregates. The aggregates that rank strength of schedule. The Twins have had one of the easiest in baseball so far. The White Sox, one of the more difficult ones, in spite of being in a dog shit division. Already played the Yankees. Red Sox are red hot. The Rays they've played. They got the Blue Jays on deck. Twins not so much. They played the A's, who are pathetic. I want to say the Reds. Mm-hmm. So the Twins are playing above expectations. I thought the Twins pitching was complete and total dog shit. It's been better than expected, but White Sox have been injured, and this is not an excuse for their 21-21 record in a year they said they were going to contend for a World Series. I'll get to that in a moment. But Lance Lynn, Luis Roberts been out a couple of different 5-game stretches. Eloy's been out 6 weeks or whatever. Injuries up and down the lineup, and you couple that with Andrew Vaughn, he's also been hurt. Jose Abreu's been very bad, just beats the ball into the ground every at bat. Yasmani Grandal's been horrible. Yeah, he starts slow here and there, and then once it gets 90 degrees, he turns on fire. So, I mean, people love to point to peripherals, and they are a useful tool when you go to Baseball Savant or Fangraphs and all that. He's shitting on the ball right into the ground. That tells me it's not an approach issue. It's not an aging issue because he's hitting the ball as harder than he ever has in his life. He's walking more than he ever has in his life, and he's striking out less than he's ever had in his life. Okay. So that's good.
Yep.
It's a mechanical thing. Jose Abreu works his dick off more than any player on the team. Everybody knows that. Everybody hears all the stories about how he's, taking hacks in the cages 2 hours after games, running stadium stairs after games, all that shit. Breaking a bad habit, like a mechanical, like a bad mechanic in a swing, is insanely hard to do.
I mean,
it's insanely hard to do.
You could say that to anybody who's ever picked up a golf club.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a matter of time, I think, with Jose. With Grandal, I said this to people know Patrick Nolan. I was shooting the shit with him through DM. This is when I was in Boston 2 weekends ago watching the White Sox and Red Sox at Fenway. And he was talking about how bad A.J. Pollock's been. I watched A.J. Pollock make over 3 games, that 3-game weekend, make like 6 or 7 really good passes at the ball that if he connected, they're either in the gap or over the fence. And he just felt it either straight back or pulled him foul. I'm like, those are good passes. His timing's a hair off still. He's really close. This week, he has been on fucking fire. He's on fucking fire. And I could tell that Patrick, he was like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, he stinks right now. He did stink, but I could tell that the mechanical adjustments were coming along.
Yeah, the preparation was there, yeah.
Same exact thing with the Yasmani Grandal right now. He has taken, over the last 2 or 3 games, 5 or 6 passes at balls that he's just fouled off right back. Now, there was one last night. It was an outside fastball. Typically, when he's hitting from the left side of the plate, Yasmani Grandal works that left center gap very well. It was an outside fastball, and you could see him just open his hips a little too much, which tells me he's still dead pull. But the bat path and the timing were right there. He fouled the ball straight back. If he connects and if he doesn't try to pull the ball, if he goes with the pitch, stays on it, lets the ball travel, that's either a bomb to left center or it's in the gap. I think Yasmani Grandal's close. Not only that, we got Lance Lynn, who should be in the office in the next couple of weeks. I've talked to his agent a little bit, but Lance Lynn's throwing live BP to Eloy. I mean, Gavin Sheets he's not it right now. Yeah. He should be in AAA. As bad as Eloy was prior to him getting injured, he's night and day better than Gavin Sheets. Even as a defender, maybe, which is crazy to say because he's so bad. I think the White Sox are going to get hot. They've weathered the storm. We will see. There was one quote that Rick Hahn had with Scott Merkin in his weekly newsletter this week where it's like, he's like, yeah, they were talking about money, and he's like, the money will always be there should we feel that we're in a position to go to the playoffs, make the world, whatever it was, like to get better. That quote scared me a little bit because they were in that position over the winter and they did fucking nothing. They signed Kendall Graveman, great. He's been good. Signed Joe Kelly, who is nasty. He's walked a little bit, a few hitters here and there, but he's nasty. He looks awesome. After that, just a bunch of dog shit.
Well,
so
they signed Johnny Cueto,
who we have to talk about.
I know. Go ahead.
I think that, and I hadn't seen Johnny Cueto pitch when he was in San Francisco last year. I'm sorry, I had it.
So you haven't seen him since he was with the Reds, maybe?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's 35 years old. 5, 6, 7 years ago. A long time ago.
Yep.
Johnny Cueto is, 35? Whatever it is. I assumed that was another scrap heap. Adam Eaton, Josh Harrison, Matt Latos. You get the point.
The list goes on.
The list goes on and on and on and on. It's not.
Johnny Cueto is 36.
Completely shut down the Yankees lineup. And that Yankees lineup is fucking terrifying. That top 4 or 5. Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball.
They've been killing everybody.
Killing everybody.
Yep.
He had them so off balance that it was a treat watching him pitch. He does his little jiggle, his little timing mechanisms, all that. it was a treat watching him pitch because you see all these power pitchers. Like last night, Dylan Cease got his tits blown off his chest. Mm-hmm. Like those guys tend to lose command here and there. Michael Kopech's had lapses where he'll walk 3 or 4 guys in an inning. Gio, not so much, but Gio's...
He used to.
Yeah, he used to for sure.
Yeah.
Johnny Cueto just goes up there and he puts the ball wherever the fuck he wants. Mm-hmm. 4 different pitches, different, timing to the plate. He's not a scrappy pickup. He is 100% the 5th best pitcher on the team right now.
Yep.
And I would even say, shout out to Martin. I'm already forgetting Martin Davis or Davis Martin. They called up this guy and he pitched against Kansas City the other day. That guy's fucking good.
Yeah.
I had never heard of him in my entire life until the day that he got called up for a spot start when I think someone had COVID or something. I think it was Gio, actually.
Okay.
And he was 94, 96, touching 97 with ride on his fastball and putting the ball wherever he wanted. That guy, awesome depth piece, and I can't wait to see him pitch again. But Johnny Cueto,
once Lynn's back, then that's all of a sudden a very, very deep and good rotation.
Point.
Yeah.
And then you have the lineup that theoretically should be the best in the division by far and away.
When healthy.
With Tim Anderson.
This has been like the worst run of luck I've seen for like one franchise.
It's unbelievable. It's really weird. But you go from Tim Anderson, who's probably the best shortstop in baseball right now. He's been great defensively the last couple of weeks too. Just hits everything. He's awesome. Face of the franchise. I love Tim Anderson. Then you go to Robert, to Abreu, to Grandal, to Eloy, to Pollock, who's been red hot. Theoretically, it should be the best lineup in the Central.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to the bullpen. It's the highest paid bullpen in baseball. You got Liam Hendricks, Kendall Graveman, Joe Kelly. I know he's gotten hit around a little bit last outing or two. Jose Ruiz has been good. Aaron Bummer, highest contract or highest extension, pre-ARB extension for a reliever in baseball history. He's filthy when he can throw a strike. You got all these good pieces. Now it's just a matter of these guys playing to their potential. It's up to them. It's not on Tony La Russa. It's not on Rick Hahn. It's up to the players at this point because they're getting healthy. It's May 25th when we're recording this. This will drop later tonight or tomorrow morning. If you're not I know they're going to need some rehab appearances down in Charlotte, but with Lance Lynn and Eloy, if you're not fucking winning 5 of 7 games a week, 4 of 7 games a week from here on out, you fucked up. It's on the players, and they're going to, I would hope that they're going to trade for a couple more impact pieces. They still need a left-handed bat, and badly.
Is anybody on your radar for that, or is it too early?
Too early for that. We'll see. People are asking me constantly about Juan Soto. I don't think they could trade for Juan Soto unless
they don't have enough.
It started with Luis Robert because their farm system's like that depleted.
Oh, well then
with graduations and shit. So it's like, what do you even talk about at this point?
What about a package built around Vaughn?
I don't think
he's not enough.
He's not enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Other teams would be able to beat that for sure. So, and I don't. That's even if Washington decides to trade him, which they'd be stupid to do.
Yeah.
Should just extend him right now and then build around him. But ownership sucks for the majority of owners in baseball. With that said, good Yankees series win. TA and all his theatrics. Do you want to talk about that?
I was going to ask you. It's your guy.
So Josh Donaldson is a fucking loser. I hate the guy. I think a lot of baseball hates the guy. I got Yankees fans all in my fucking ass right now. It's like, bitch, you fucking losers were hating him a year ago. When he was
with Toronto and all those
when he
teams,
was with Toronto and when he was with Minnesota calling out Garrett Cole for the spider tack. Like, fuck off. If he was on my team, I'd want him to win.
Yeah.
I'd want him to be successful.
But I never understand.
I'd also call him a bitch, though, just like I called Adam Eaton a little bitch, and I couldn't stand him. I wanted him to do awesome.
I don't understand how fans can't just be like, yeah, he's wearing our uniform. That doesn't make him a fucking saint. Like, you don't have to defend everybody just because they're in your uniform.
Right.
Like, you can say he's a good player or whatever, but you don't have to be like, yeah, he's a good person.
Like Adam Eaton.
Yeah.
Textbook example. Adam Eaton has not had – Adam Eaton's had a great career, for sure. But he hadn't had near the career that Josh Donaldson had. So it's not completely apples to apples. But when Adam Eaton was here, I couldn't stand him because I had heard stories about him just being a total douche.
Yep.
And he had 2 appearances here in Chicago. And of course I wanted to drill the ball every time he's hitting. But I hate the fucking guy.
Right. Well, I mean, that was a quote from Joe Kelly. That's bad. That's horrible. It wasn't for good intentions. The guy is a douche.
He's just a douche.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. I don't think he was being racist per se. I think he knew he was towing the line.
Yeah.
I think he knew what he was doing.
Do you want to tell the story for people who haven't heard it?
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard it. It's a big national story at this point. Josh Donaldson got suspended for one game because he hit a double, I want to say it was. And at second base, he made a comment like, "What's up, Jackie?" to Tim Robinson. And now in 2019, Tim Anderson he said he wanted to be the modern day Jackie Robinson. He wasn't saying that he's gone through anything close to it.
Right.
And I'm not trying to put words in his mouth or anything. He's not saying that he's like breaking color barriers. He was
kind of a crazy quote.
He was talking about how he wants to be a positive influence on African-American youth in today's generation. That's what he was saying.
Okay.
And I think that's fair. He's one of the faces of baseball at this point. He's
not enough, I think. Like, I feel like he should be highlighted more.
He's getting video game covers and
stinks of that. Like Byron Buxton should be part of that.
Fuck
you know, but it's just whatever. It doesn't matter, I guess.
But so that's, no, he's not Jackie Robinson. Everybody knows
that.
And
yeah. But the quote it's like there was a old Bill Burr bit about like getting a bad read. Like that quote, I'm sure when he says it, you're like, yes. When you read that quote, you're like, what a dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. Josh Donaldson, though, he was being a little troll, which is what he does.
Yeah.
And he's like, and his excuse is like, oh, I've been calling him that for years. Like, dude, you're not friends with Tim Anderson. You're not.
Yeah.
In fact, you're enemies. Tim Anderson told him, like, you don't ever need to talk to me again. Like, don't talk to me.
Yep.
And if you're not friends, you're not going to have inside jokes. You're not on a level where
you're talking shit.
You're talking shit, but you're using Jackie Robinson. That's like, what do you think's going to happen?
And like the whole,
of course, it's going to get construed as racist. I don't think Josh Donaldson's a racist.
I don't know.
I don't know that he is or isn't, but I would hope that he's not.
But even it's like one of those things. All right, Donaldson's being like, oh, I've called him that before. And it's like, well, dude, maybe you turn the other cheek once. You ignore it a second time. If it happens a third or fourth time, it's like, all right, dude, you're a fucking asshole. Exactly. Now we have a problem.
And a week ago, exactly.
Right.
And a week ago, Tim Anderson, there was a play at third. I forget the exact situation. Josh Donaldson like held TA and kind of shoved him off the base. And it was great umpiring, by the way, which I don't say often. But the umpire was like, dude, you just shoved him off the base. He's safe. Like, timeout.
Yeah.
And Anderson got up and shoved him back. That was a week before this whole incident. Mm-hmm. They're not friends. You don't have you're not in a proper standing to, you can shit talk, but by all means.
Yeah.
Shit talk all you want. But like to go to that level, that's, you're asking for trouble.
Right.
And it's not really, I don't think it's the intent of what he said, but it was how it was received. And that's what matters.
Yeah.
And TA didn't like it. His teammates didn't like it. Aaron Judge and Brett Boone didn't like it. Aaron Boone.
La Russa did not like it.
La Russa didn't like it. It's you're an idiot, man.
Yep.
You're a fucking clown.
Yep.
There's a reason. Like, Josh Donaldson's still a very good player. Not obviously the MVP player. He's going to the Hall of Very Good, I would say.
But there's a reason he's been on 4 teams in 4 years.
I think it's like 6 and 8 years.
Something. Yeah.
It's something crazy.
Right. Because it was Oakland, Toronto, Minnesota, Cleveland. Yeah.
New York.
Yankees. Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's like we'll have this guy as a mercenary. We don't fucking like him, but he might be able to get us where we want to go. So we'll put up with it. But
we'll put up with this shit.
So fuck him, I guess, is the prevailing thought
and all like it was such poetic justice.
Yeah.
It was like a scene out of a movie on Sunday during Sunday Night Baseball, where you had Yankee Stadium chanting Jackie at Tim Anderson, and then he's like, and this is why I would go to war for Tim Anderson. He channels it onto the field, and he just fucking goes lift off. I was talking to Giolito.
I feel that morning he has like all of his best moments have been against the Yankees.
Pressure, man.
Yeah,
he's as good under pressure as anybody.
The Field of Dreams game last year, like
no, he's had a bunch of big moments. Like if you need a hit,
he's the guy.
He's the guy. Maybe the guy in baseball. He's like leading the league or close to it in average again. But But I love Tim Anderson. I'd go to war for him, and that's it. Like, I don't think Donaldson's a racist. I don't think what he said necessarily was racist. I think it was just a stupid fucking comment that he shouldn't have made.
I think he's socially inept.
Like a social moron, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's it on that.
You know who isn't socially inept?
Who's that?
Dan Wisher.
Dan Wisher is not. So
tonight, Barstool at the ballpark.
Barstool at the ballpark. So
if you're listening to this and you haven't got your
Thursday
ticket,
night, I think this episode will probably come out later this afternoon.
No, it comes out Thursday morning.
Okay, Thursday morning.
Yep.
So today, on Thursday night at 7 p.m., Barstool at the ballpark, we are...
Thursday, May 26th.
May 26th. We are doing a little pregame tailgate in Lot B. Then we're going to head to the patio, and with the Wisher Foundation, we are gifting 2 beneficiaries of the charity $5,000 checks.
Whew.
I'm a little nervous because I got to give a little speech.
You'll do fine.
I'll do fine. I'm just going to drunkenly slur a bunch of words at into the microphone for 30 seconds and hand the microphone back to Dan. But and these 2 beneficiaries, they were invited to the game. I don't know who they are yet. I hope they're not listening. But they don't know that they're getting the checks. So we're just going to present them with the checks, and they are free to do whatever they want with it. So I'm very, very happy with how that turned out. I'm excited that these guys that are going through or girls that are going through some tough times get some money to go to Italy or something.
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
Or whatever. And that's the thing that I love about about Wish Forever, which is the charity. We obviously have showcased and participated in Wish Fest before. It usually happens the first week of December. It's just like a no strings thing, because you don't know, they're not going to presume to know the best way to handle your present situation.
Right.
So they just give you money, and it's like, you know what? Do whatever you want.
Have a blast,
So
kid.
if you need to get groceries, get the groceries because your medical bills are so high. You need some kind of thing to lift your spirits, like you said. You want to take a trip somewhere, like a Make-A-Wish thing, do that. And that's what this charity is all about. It's all about, and the story is awesome. It's been well documented, but Dan's brother tragically passed at the age of 21 or 22.
So, yeah, young 20s.
From cancer, and his dying wish was just hey, pay it forward. People were so kind to us while I had this, and they have taken that and run with it. So this is a great thing that you're doing with Dan and Wish Forever Foundation to continue to do that. So they've been doing it for years and years now, and we're happy to be a part of it. And it's like one of my favorite things that we're involved with here.
Absolutely. And so go to FEVO. That's FEVO.me/Barstool2020. We'll have a social clip out on this. If you want last minute tickets, White Sox, Red Sox, I think Kopech is on the mound. I forget who's on the mound, but someone's on the mound. And yeah, come drink, come have a good time. $10 per each ticket sold goes directly to the Andrew Wisher Foundation, and we're super happy about it. And on that note, if you're not driving down there to Sox Park at 35th and Shields in a Chevy, you're doing it wrong. And why is that, Chief?
I mean, you got to go to ChevyDriveChicago.com. It's the only one that we trust. You'll be able to find a dealership nearest you just by going to Chevy Drive Chicago. And this is road trip season. True story. My girlfriend does not drive a Chevy car. Car got recalled. It's been a fucking nightmare this week. She should just buy a Chevy. Then you can get, you're going to know exactly where to get your routine maintenance, get those tires changed, brakes checked, oil changed. Get that. This is road trip season. Underrated. People can do this themselves, obviously. Wiper fluid. Get all those bugs off your windshield. Get everything right for the summer. Windshield wipers replaced. The only place to do it is at a Chevy dealer in Chicagoland. And the great service, great. I don't really know anything about cars. I know I can trust them to treat me right and give me good service.
Absolutely. And once again, you head to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Pop in your zip code to find the nearest Chevy dealer near you. And we fully endorse Chevy.
Yep.
I love my Chevy. Eddie loves his Chevy. Everybody loves their Chevys. So Chevy.
And it's one of those brands that's just lasted forever. Like I've told this story before. When my grandpa retired, he got himself a pricier car, and he was just never working right. He was always frustrated. He's like, "Fuck this," and he went and got himself a Chevy Impala. He's like, "This is what the police officers drive. This is what I'm gonna do." He drove it until he died. And that was, that's Chevy. Chevy is just like, what you're getting, guaranteed quality service. So if you need a new car, you can go to ChevyDriveChicago.com too to see what they have in stock, do a test drive, and most importantly, keep that service up. And ChevyDriveChicago.com is the best place to do that.
Amen to that, Chief. And on that note, Cubs.
They stink. They're done.
They're done?
I think so. You been watching them?
I not as much with the traveling, but I have been. They do got a lot of fun players on.
They do. They're like
Patrick Wisdom fucking shits on the ball.
All right.
Just doesn't make contact.
So
often.
I had this thought the other day where it like kind of made me a little bit sick, but it's like they're back to being lovable losers.
They are. That's a great.
That's
great
what they
point.
are.
They are.
That's exactly what they are.
Schwindel's good. Like not good, but fun to watch.
Yep.
I know he's struggling right now. Seiya Suzuki's going to be a very good Major League Baseball player.
He's been struggling, but like Morel had his moment. Like they have guys that have moments. I know like Contreras got hurt and he's on his way out the door most likely, but like he's still like a fun guy to watch and root for. So they have all these guys. They're just not going anywhere. Like this team's not going anywhere. It's like the perfect quintessential. Your dad's kind of Cubs team, right? Where it's like they don't really have any real shot, but people are still going to show up, sit in the bleachers, and have a good time because Wrigley's great. And even if the team's not good, it doesn't always matter. But that's kind of their bad. It sucks, and I hate to say it, but they are back to being the lovable losers. And they are genuinely lovable. They are genuinely lovable because the expectations are so low.
You asked me about potential trade targets for the White Sox come the deadline.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Ian Happ because I think he would fit this team absolutely tremendously. The White Sox.
You could play him a couple different positions that are positions of need too.
Right.
Yeah.
Need a right fielder. He can play right field.
He can play
Sox.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can play right. Especially if Robert's in center.
Second base. No.
A hard no.
He can't play second. He could be a body there.
Yeah,
but he'd be like brutal defensively.
Sure, but
with Tim Anderson, who has very, very pronounced lapses of defense, I would say, because Tim Anderson, like he has all the tools to be a great defender. He just has those weird games where he just boots the ball around, and everyone's like, "Oh, he sucks. He doesn't suck."
Well, I feel like those come in bunches for him too, and that's what contributes to that narrative. So
exactly,
but he's actually fine. Like he might make like 6 errors in a year, but 4 of them will come in a week.
Well, Tim Anderson's he leads the league in errors like every year.
Yeah,
but
fine.
It's like they all come in bunches in like one game where they're getting blown out. So it's like, who cares?
Who gives a shit? Yeah.
But
when the lights are bright, he'll be
fine. Either put Pollock in right and Happ in left. Move Eloy, trade Vaughn. I don't care. I don't care. You need to figure this out. But Ian Happ.
What's his contract looking like? Like, is that somebody that is
Ian Happ's contract? He's only making $6.85 million this year.
How much term? I mean, though.
He's still an ARB, so he's a free agent after next year. He's got the 2023 season under team control. I would like it. I mean, he walks, which is something the White Sox desperately need. Someone who sees pitches. He's got the power. He's great as a left-handed hitter, switch hitter, not so much. But he's getting on base at almost a 400 clip right now. There's this 100+ points of separation between his batting average and his on base. The dude can hit, and I think that he would be a welcome addition to the lineup, even if. Like you'd have to move some pieces around to fit him in defensively, but that's fine.
Also a thing the Cubs should definitely be doing.
Yeah, they need to be selling. That's my point.
Yeah. So they're in that mode now. So I like Ian Happ. He's been good to us. So I would love it if he stayed on the north side somehow from like a sentimental reason. But they have no. By the time they're going to be good again, he's not going to be a part of it. So you might as well start taking some of these guys and shipping them out.
You might as well be. Load up on prospect capital and
Marcus Stroman probably too.
Oh, fucking Stroman stinks. He stinks.
He was okay his last time out.
He stinks. Come on. He's got. All right, let's take a look. And I hate doing this. I said I wouldn't do it, but his peripherals aren't bad.
Okay.
He's got same low walk rate. His strikeouts are up per 9 or compared to the rest of his career. His fastball velo is up a tick from last year. His ERA 4.71, but his expected ERA is fielding independent pitcher and his xFIP. They are both in the low 3s. And his WARs, you know what? You might see a good stretch of pitching coming up out of Marcus Stroman. Now, that signing still didn't make much sense to me. I think it might have been kind of a sign to trade type deal. And if they're looking
you get them for nothing, and then you flip them for something more valuable.
So he is a 3-year, $71 million. So that's about $23 million a year.
I think one of them's an option year, though, right?
Like, he can opt out after next year.
Yeah,
he can. It's player opt out. So, yeah, the Cubs are lovable losers. That's when I love the Cubs the most. Is when I can sit there and just watch them for the sheer entertainment factor. Like, I like watching Patrick Wisdom swing a baseball bat because he's not a big dude.
Yeah,
but he just goes up there with his fucking tree trunk arms and just destroys the ball when he connects. That's like, I think a lot of fans in rebuilding years grow an affinity to those kind of players, like I did with Palka.
Yeah, of course.
Like the White Sox fans absolutely fucking loved Palka because when he would connect, it was murder on the baseball.
And that's something I always say about the Hawks too, where it's like, you know, I had a little meeting with them a couple weeks ago, and it's like, I know that like they're not going to be good for a while. Just give me guys that'll play hard. You know, like just. Like, I'll watch Reese Johnson and people like that, you know, Brandon Hagel's of the world. Like, Brandon Hagel, you know, obviously they traded him and they got a big haul for him. It was a good trade, but, like, he's not, like, some superstar guy. The package they got for him was, like, insane. But it's like, he's a guy who the team's not good, but his effort's at 100 every single shift. So just get guys like that. Give me smart, hardworking guys. And, you know, I can ride with that. And just no more Nylanders and no more Boquist and these kind of guys who are soft and, you know, won't do anything. So I think, the Cubs have a few of those types of guys where it's like, hey, they played the game the right way. They're just not very good.
I think that's probably most of the roster because there's no one on this. Like, I as a baseball fan, watching Wilson Contreras play baseball is a joy to me. And he shits on the baseball, but he just works his ass off, and he's a ferocious competitor. So to me, it's unfortunate he's stuck in the, and then just a rebuild because I don't think he deserves that per se. But like, watch him, like he's gonna get traded to the Yankees or something, and he is just gonna take off there because he's someone that feeds on
the energy,
and the success and winning baseball games. So, and he's killing the ball right now too. He's got. Yeah, Wilson Contreras, he's got 100 points separating his over like 130 points separating his batting average and on base, 141 weighted runs created plus. He's a fine defensive catcher. I don't think he receives well per se. I know he doesn't. He doesn't receive well. Blocking can be a little bit of an issue, but he's got a hose. He'll control the run game, back picks, all that. He's a great baseball player. Not a complete baseball player, but very good one nonetheless.
A catcher that hits for power too. Yeah. You know, like what are we talking about? So he'll have value. I know people keep trying to say, like, I've heard people say, like, he has no value. It's like, how could that fucking be?
No way he has no value. Yeah. He's 30 years old, just turned 30 a couple days ago, and under team control for, he's a rental, so that's why he doesn't have
This is one of those things where I do believe in karma, and even if you're bad, but you're playing the right way, your team, your organization will be rewarded in the long run, and it's important. Like, this is a good karma time.
Absolutely. So that's Cubs talk with Chief, our noted Cubs guy,
big baseball guy.
And if Wilson Contreras continues on this tear this year and signs some mega deal with, a 5-year, $100 million deal with whoever, he's gonna need to keep his finances in check, Chief.
Yeah.
And
how's he going to do that?
An easy way to do that?
I would love you to tell me.
It's a service that I use almost religiously, and I have for probably 8 years now.
Oh, wow.
Credit Karma.
Credit Karma. So can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
You know, when I was talking about, like, having good karma and playing the right way, didn't occur to you that was a setup to transition to the ad read?
It didn't. It would have been a good one. That's on me. But I believe it nonetheless.
Yeah, I know you do.
With Credit Karma, if you're earning credit card rewards, Credit Karma can help you compare your rewards options so you can find a card that fits your lifestyle, helping you earn miles or cash back or spending to do anything. So when I just moved, I bought the house, no big deal. It was like 150,000 credit card points built up on an Amex that I hadn't touched over the years. I furnished my entire patio with it.
There you go.
It was beautiful. And I got that card through Credit Karma. And that is 1,000% true. That's not just an ad read. I qualified for the card, and this is an unlimited card, not to brag. But I qualified for it. And I'm like, I don't think I need that card, but I kind of want that card.
Yeah.
Did it through Credit Karma. And best of all, Credit Karma uses your credit data to show your chances of approval before applying for the credit card. So if you apply for a credit card, you get denied.
It dings your credit.
It dings your credit. You don't want that. Credit Karma will let you know, hey, you shouldn't apply for this card. You're not going to get it. It's extremely safe. It's not some like not shady service or anything. I check Credit Karma, I would say 3 times a week. So if you want, you can like log in all your bills. You can pay your bills through it. You can do a whole bunch of shit through Credit Karma.
You convinced me. I'm going to check it out.
It's an awesome app. I talked my old roommate Pat into using it, and him and I have talked about it recently. It was actually the opening day for the Sox, and I don't know how he got on the subject, but he was like, dude, that app you showed me, Credit Karma, is like, I use it all the time. It's legit. So if you're ready to find a credit card for you, and if you are looking to build your credit, my credit was so fucking bad after college that I didn't know what to do. So I downloaded a credit card, honestly, just to check my credit because I wasn't sure what it was. It was in the 6s. It was bad. Low 6s, actually. And it gave me kind of a step-by-step, like, hey, you need to pay this bill down. You need to pay this card down. You need to clear this card and never touch it again. Shit like that. Got me up to 700s again, and we're good to go. So go to creditkarma.com or the Credit Karma app to find the card for you. That's creditkarma.com, just like it sounds. And I really do endorse that product. I'm glad we're working with them now.
There you go.
So do the Blackhawks have some good karma coming their way?
Well, karma-wise, I think it's possible. Yeah,
they've cleaned house a little bit.
They've cleaned house a lot. I would say, they're on their way. This is going to be an interesting summer. Like, I don't think they're going to do all that much. This is a dead time for them. There's not going to be any real movement until those playoffs wrap up. I know they're kind of trying to figure out who the coach is going to be. Derek King is in the mix. There are 2 guys that I would really like. One of them is Jim Montgomery. Great coach.
Talk to me about him.
Monty, it's like one of those small world things, but he played on that national championship team with Maine with my cousin, second cousin.
The one with the hockey rink.
Different cousin. Same side of the family. Okay. But yeah, that guy was actually a college soccer player. But anyway, so good guy, great coach. His seen as like one of like the brightest guys. He's like 50 something, but he's kind of been rising through the ranks here for a while. He played in the NHL for a bit, mostly the Flyers, long time minor league type of guy, but very smart. But he's got some demons. He's got baggage. He was hired by the Stars and then got fired because there's all sorts of rumors, but he had to go into rehab for some alcohol and other things. So I don't know if the Hawks, coming off of their scandal, will necessarily have the stomach to roll. I don't think it's a roll of the dice. I know some people that know him that says he's straight and narrow. He's got everything straightened out. Family life's good. He's working hard. He's been with the Blues, coaching with Berube there. So Berube, his nickname is Chief too. So they've had a great run there. And Monty's been a big part of that. And then the other guy is Kevin Dineen. So Dineen was here before with Joel. He just had a monster year, won the division in the AHL for Utica. He's coached in the NHL before. He knows some of the guys. There's familiarity. He knows how to bring along young players. He obviously can connect with veterans. That's something that Monty can do as well. So the coach, Derek King was a nice guy, a good change of pace from Colleton. I don't necessarily think he's the guy. So we'll see what they do. But there's not going to be really any substantial Hawks news until, July. Yeah. Till the draft, end of June, whenever the draft is. So
are you forecasting the draft yet?
They don't have a pick.
That's right.
So right. I think
I knew that.
Yeah. So I think Davidson might try to get into the back end of the first round somehow, some way. They have a lot of draft capital in the coming years because they've traded off. The deal with Hagel. They got a few other. They traded Fleury, so they have 2 second-round picks this year. So they might try to sneak into the back of the first round, but they won't. I don't know how aggressive they'll be, and they might be able to, assign and trade, or you trade rather Dylan Strome's rights or something like that, where you can get another little piece back. They won't get a first for that, but I think he'll be active, and I think that's part of maybe being, your GM. This is like GM season, so the draft and then free agency, and I think, he knows that he's got a big project ahead of him here. So that we were talking earlier about like watching Rockford in the playoffs. I'm like, I don't really want to watch that. They got like maybe 3 guys who will have like substantial NHL careers playing down there. So it's going to be Ian Mitchell, Reichel, and then, throw a dart at the roster, maybe get another one. But it's not going to be like, this guy's our future. They don't have any of those guys playing down there. So he's got a big job ahead of him. So I hope that, he's got a philosophy. He wants to have speed down the middle. He wants to have guys that are kind of bigger on the back end and play smart, play the right way, and play hard like we were talking about. So that's something to watch. And then, but this is dead time. It's dead time it's like rumor season 2. Like obviously the Bulls with Levine. Levine's been kind of out there. He had the knee surgery, but he's been out there. He's looking for a max deal. Flirting with the, outward. He was on TMZ talking about how great the Lakers are. So we'll see if he ends up out there with LeBron. But the Bulls it would be so shitty if it was all like you kind of push all your chips in and you build around Levine and then poof, 1 year he's out. So we'll see. But the Bulls are the only team that can give him that 5-year deal unless it's a sign and trade. So we'll see, what AK has up his sleeve or if they're able to do it. It's disappointing, especially because we never got to see the team at full strength in the playoffs, especially. So without Lonzo and, so Patrick Williams was hurt the whole year. He came back at the end. He probably was still like getting in the groove when they got smoked. So we'll see. But that's where the Bulls are. That's where the Hawks are. We're just kind of sitting, waiting around.
Yeah, it's baseball season. There's nothing of note to talk about with the Bears that I'm aware of other than Kyle Long completely shitting on that dog-hating lunatic
Red Ed. Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's a tough look for our boy Red Ed. So he should let George lick peanut butter off his face. I think that's a fair trade.
Even go in and adopt a puppy and fall in love with that puppy and grow up with and grow older with.
Well,
that puppy.
now you're asking because he didn't acknowledge the dog. He's got to make a 15-year commitment.
But my point, like Ed. And we were busting Ed's balls. Ryan and I are dog guys. We've always the only time in my life I didn't have a dog is when I couldn't have a dog in Chicago because apartments wouldn't let me. I found the loophole to register Ace as
emotional support animal.
Yeah, emotional support animal. So I could tell my apartment complex
I need
pound
him.
Fucking sand because I'm like depressed and on meds and shit, which is not true. It was a joke.
You were never depressed?
No, I just wanted a dog because dogs are the best. They're the best things in the world. They're man's best friend. That's not a joke. Like Ed doesn't see that because Ed has never had that attachment to a dog. But if Ed got a dog, just a little puppy that's a little asshole that chews up shit, that shits in the house, that you got to be responsible for.
That puppy phase is fucking hard.
It's tough. Yeah. It is tough. I got super lucky with mine though.
Well, he was also a little bit older.
He was 6 months old, but he was a stray, and they found him in a dumpster at Ace Hardware. So, like Hannah, our social media girl, Hannah, she was talking to me. We were talking about dogs this morning, and she's like, "Yeah, our dog just won't stop shitting." I'm like, "Well, you got to fucking train the dog."
Yeah,
like it is a lot of work and it's a commitment, but I think that Ed could be swayed into being a dog guy. He's not a dog guy.
He's got a big heart. I love Ed,
but he's not a dog guy. Yeah. He's just kind of indifferent.
He's agnostic about dogs.
Yeah, he's
lack of experience. But as of this moment, that video is tough look.
It's a bad look. Yeah. It is a bad look, man.
Great look for me.
The best. and Ed trying to construe it as like you don't care about the fucking
you
would have had.
He always changes the.
They wanted genuine reactions. I went and looked at a billboard like, oh sweet, there it is.
My genuine reaction was to pet that dog.
Exactly.
Genuine.
Exactly.
But I think that's all we got for today, right, Dave?
That's all we got for today.
So no Carl officially didn't make it in here. That's all right. You want to all gas?
No breaks.
DJ?
Play that shit.